So, fun fact, we've been talking and we weren't live. So let me make sure. Is the mic on?
Mic's
yes.
on. We got the green light.
I don't have a producer here, so I'm kind of everything. The mic is on. We're actually live. Okay, I can see that we're live. Oops. Welcome into the Garden Conversation with Todd Farber, Aggie horticulturist and Sugarland's #1 residential landscaper. We're glad that you can join us again tonight. We have a few segments for you, some questions that I've gotten from Facebook and Instagram that we will talk about. We'll look at a makeover that Todd did this week in Greatwood. Got to sit up, garden guy. Got to sit up. And what else do we have? Oh, I've got a Texas Superstar plant that you'll want to see. Really pretty tangerine colors. So we'll talk about that. And then whatever questions y'all have for us, because y'all always have some great questions for us, we will field those questions as well. So I can see everyone is hopping on. Let me make sure that I've got us
all systems
the way we're supposed to be. Are we good? Yeah, we have sound.
Houston, we have a problem.
We had a problem. If you could have seen that we thought we were on and we were just chatting it up. And then I looked down and I was like, yeah, we're not even live. So it doesn't even matter what we were saying, guys. Doesn't even matter. That's funny. Well, we think it's funny. Anyway, y'all drop your comments. Popular questions this week is what I was going to start with. Things that y'all wanted to know about. And here they are. This is one from late last week. A lady that wanted to know about getting good drainage in some beds that were, I guess, mostly clay soil.
That's what we have here. Good old Texas gumbo.
So Todd has a method that he uses when he goes in and does landscaping. But here are just, I guess, homeowner steps. Yeah. Would you want to say? The kind of homeowner steps for improving your bed if it's heavily a clay soil. So these are the steps, and then Todd's going to talk to y'all about it a little bit. Welcome in, everyone. Let me make sure I have does this look like it's right, babe?
Yeah.
About right? Okay, I think we're good. How are you looking? Oh, yeah, you're looking fresh.
Looking dapper.
Did you wash your hair?
Twice.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Good drainage in clay soil. Test the soil. That's one thing. You want to have your soil tested. It needs to be 6.5 to 7.0.
Correct. It's very important for your healthy plants.
Sorry. Very important. 2, add organic matter. So you'll want to add organic matter to loosen up the soil. Compost, leaf mold.
It's been a long day, people.
Well-rotted manure. And what did you say that you have to do even before that?
So you need to take some type of mechanical advice.
We're knocking it on the park tonight.
Mechanical device such as a shovel or if you have a tiller, and break up the area first before you start adding amendments. If you just add the amendments to the top of the clay, it's going to be a long time before they work their way in.
So you definitely have to do that. It's not even a question.
You have to get out and work, people.
Well, and you probably can rent a tiller if you don't own one from Home Depot or right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can rent a tiller for a day, and you got to mix that up first, and then put the good stuff in and mix it again, right?
Mix it again. It's a 2-step process.
Yeah, so do that, and then the next thing would be use gypsum. I can't say this one either. Yeah, it's gonna be a good night. Gypsum is a naturally occurring mineral.
Hey, if it's a 2-step process, you don't want to fall off the wagon.
That doesn't make sense. I was thinking of Mike Fodge with azomite. I bet you can put that in too.
I'm sure.
Yeah, 2-step. I thought you were talking about when we met.
Oh, no, not the Texas 2-step.
That's how we met, though.
But it is The Bluest Eyes in Texas.
Oh, my goodness.
By Restless Heart.
Yes, but that's not the song that we danced to.
No,
anyway, gypsum. And then the last thing would be after it's all mixed together, and then I guess you could even put some fertilizer in there too, right? For the soil?
Yeah, but you want to hold off on that and do these things first because
I just made that up.
Fertilize after you plant.
Okay, well, that's just me. All right, and then you want to mulch. So that's pretty much it. So you need to test the soil.
Correct.
You need to mix
Well, the reason for testing the soil is you need to find out where you're at acidity level-wise or alkalinity level-wise to see how much amendments you need to add of each.
And which amendments you need.
Right, so you now become the chemist of your own lawn.
Not lawn. It's a landscaping bed.
Well, landscaping bed. But yes, you are now your own advocate to amend the proper. Because everybody's yard is going to, everybody's landscape beds are going to be a little bit different. So you just can't dump the same amount of materials in every single bed.
So once you get the soil test back, you make a determination of what you need to add. Then you till it all up, add what you need to add, and then it should be good.
Correct.
Okay. I think that's fairly simple, right?
It just takes a while.
I'm not sure where you were going with that 2-step thing, but I corrected it.
I don't know.
All right. We have some comments. We have a bunch of people watching. I have a couple more questions that were submitted, but I'm going to pop over and see who's talking to us.
Hey, Hilly.
Hilly's here. Boo. You're on time this week. There's Mike. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
How you doing?
Hope things are well in Dallas. Y'all are going to get cold again.
Yeah, y'all are. It actually got cool here, too.
Well, we're expecting 44 on Monday.
Not the freeze they predicted. These people are silly. No freeze. Does clematis grow here? This was a question. Hold on. Allergies. Linda Mello actually asked me on Facebook, does clematis grow here?
And the answer to the question is yes, it does. However, clematis has certain growing requirements. And I was taught, and the directions will say that the base of the plant needs to be planted in the shade, but it needs to grow out into the sunlight. And like, well, how is that possible? Well, if you're going to plant it on a trellis,
make sure you speak up.
If you're going to plant on a trellis, you would plant against a wall that may be somewhat shade, but as it grows, it gets taller. It's out in the sunlight, and that's where it is.
You said a shady foot and a sunny
top.
Yes. I like that.
And there's different varieties.
So it does grow here, but it's a little finicky.
It's finicky, yeah.
So clematis does grow here, Linda. That's your answer, but I guess it's not your number one go-to.
It's hard to find, too. And I know you said you saw it at the grocery stores. I'd be interested to find out what variety they're selling. There's a native variety. It's a white blooming clematis, and it's...
Who said they saw it at the grocery store?
Oh, I thought she said she saw it at her local...
No.
Oh.
No.
Anyway, I was wrong. Anyway, there's a native clematis it's very rigid and hardy, but it's kind of bland. And if you look up clematis on Google, you'll see all different colors.
I got a better vine for you later that we're featuring. Ooh, it is spring break here. Yeah. That's why we're seeing the light numbers here.
It is.
I think that might be why. It's been a little quiet. But quiet can be good.
Hey, that means I can add in a few more jokes.
Oh,
not really.
Lord. Well, we were just on Instagram and we were able to blab to ourselves for 25 minutes. I'm sure we can do it on here too. All right, because we just started doing Instagram Live. If you want to see us twice in one night.
It's at Costco. I thought I saw this. Oh. That's what she wrote.
All right. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm wrong.
Seeing it and lots of it in stores.
Oh, in stores. Okay. All right. I'm not always.
We're not perfect. We just compliment each other well.
Oh, please. We're a wreck. Tonight we're a wreck. All right, Linda, don't buy it. Is that what you would say?
No.
Okay. Then why don't you say what you would say?
If you really like the plant, then plan on nurturing it for a while until it takes off. That's what I recommend.
Okay. And it needs a shady, if you heard that, Linda, it needs to be planted in the shade, but its top needs to be in the sun. That's Correct. What Todd said, Linda.
That's not an easy grow.
Not easy, but you can try it, I guess. All right, here was my other. Oh, here. Let's do. I don't need my question. Let's go down. She said, thanks, it's Costco. Thank you. Now I'm going to go to Hilly. She has a question. What do you recommend for weed and feed for your lawn? Oh, this is a good one.
Well, it depends whether or not you are going chemical based or organic based. And in the box stores, you will find, what is it? Oh, now I'm drawing a blank.
We're not big on lawn stuff yet. That's not something that we do a lot of. I mean, I know that we recommend that
Nitrophos has a good weed and feed.
Nitrophos, everybody talks about that. And then I know that Mike Fodge recommends the azomite with that at the same time, or maybe just before. So azomite and nitrophos, which I just recommended to one of your clients. There's different blends of the nitrophos.
Yeah.
And I think this is what I think about it, because I did a little research. If you go to Enchanted or Buchanan's or Sienna Mulch too, they have it. The smaller, not Lowe's and Home Depot, not the smaller garden centers, they know what they're carrying and they'll tell you.
Correct.
They'll say, you need this bag with this color. So I recommended to the lady, you went and saw her grass, Tamara Rayleigh.
Yes.
And she wanted to know the same question. And I snapped a screenshot of some nitrophos. I don't remember which one, but it's good, right?
Now, a lot of people like to use the Scott's Southern Lawn, and it says it's formulated for Southern lawns, and it's the go-to weed and feed.
For
the big.
That's it.
But the big box stores. But I'm not convinced that that's the brand that you should buy. It does work, but I don't know if it's going to give you everything you need.
Here's the thing for us. We've been landscaping, and I'm not saying we don't know a lot about lawn fertilization, but we're not promoted or sponsored by anyone. And Todd's just always done our lawn. Like, we don't fertilize people's lawns and we don't mow them, just so that y'all know. So what I can see out there in the marketplace is this NitroFos. And then he's used MicroLife. You didn't mention that.
No.
He's used MicroLife forever. But to say that we know exactly what I don't have any notes here on what the formulation is. I know that Randy Lemon had all that stuff. Like, he did it for 30 years. So I would say one of those two are the best. And then I'm going to drop one more on you that you've probably never heard of. And we haven't really gotten to it because we got so busy. But I'm going to drop something on you. It's liquid, and it's a lawn subscription. And it's called Lawn Bright. 2 words, Lawn Bright. Google it. It is, I think, for women, this is the one I would use if I didn't have this guy. I would use Lawn Bright. That's just me, and I'm not sponsored by them.
Hey, is that like the game Hasbro came out with years ago, Light Brave? No.
Don't even. It's not Light Bright. So I think Lawn Bright is neat because it's organic, it's natural, and so is MicroLife, and so is that NitroFos. I mean, look, like I said, whatever makes y'all happy. Whatever makes
the Lawn Bright she's speaking of, it's applied through the hose.
Yeah, you apply it through the sprayer hose. It's easy. I did it on one side of our lawn to try it. They have a pre-emergent, which is to kill the weeds before they get there, and then they have the feeding part, and it's all natural. It's like blue algae and different things. And here's the part I like. First of all, they send it in the mail to me. It arrives on my doorstep. The second thing is they send you an email, and they're like, "Hey, it's time to do the XYZ," and you're like, "Oh, good." So I think for women, it would be nice, a nice program. Yeah. It's easy to use. You don't need a spreader.
Not messy.
You don't need I don't want to push around a spreader. I don't want to pick up a 25-pound bag of, I don't. But if you do, then you should do it. But I like the liquid solution, and I like Lawn Bright. I like what they're doing. I think it's a good one. And they have Lawn Bright for southern lawns because St. Augustine is different, obviously. So that's kind of what we know about lawns. And yeah, spreading. Ooh. I just spit that y'all are not here. Yeah, spreading is a pain. I don't like it. So I would try the Lawn Bright if you want, Hilly. I like it. Oh, if you're in the Gulf Coast, yeah, Randy Lemon has his still on the site. It's still active, and you can get that whole thing.
His fertilization program. He's spot on with that.
He's right on. So I think for this, and I'm just coming at it from not being a garden person, not a lawn. I can't even really go outside much. I think that you should do what makes you happy. Randy Lemon's right. This guy's right. This guy likes to use this. I mean, I may prefer this brand of makeup and this other woman might. I think it depends on what you enjoy and what works for you. And you see a lot of people push something really, really hard. Well, let's just be honest, folks. That's because they're sponsored. True or not?
Yeah.
I mean, there could be another solution that's equally or better. I think it depends on the person that's doing it, how you want it applied, what you want to spend on it. So those are all the things that I think.
Well, she's right, but whatever method you choose, you need to be consistent with it. You can't just throw a bag down and it's like, well, I hadn't done the next step and then expect the results that, go back to Randy Lemon, what, are supposed to be the results after this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-step process.
Right. Mike said he follows it, but 2 weeks later because we're Gulf Coast.
Correct.
Yeah, it's good. So Randy's was obviously, I mean, that goes without saying. Follow that program.
Well, he made his living off that schedule. That's who he was.
I mean, that was his thing.
I mean, the most asked question on his program was about the lawn schedule.
Yep. And then there's sponsorships up underneath that. So if, like I said, on this, you do you, guys. You do you. We gave you some options. We said MicroLife. We said use whatever Randy says. You can go to that site. It's still operating. Skip Richter is now the replacement. Right. You can do whatever he says, and you can buy the things from, like I said, Sienna Mulch, Enchanted, Buchanan's, the Arbor Gate. These folks have all those promoted products. And then I threw something in there called Lawn Bright. It's liquid. I think women would enjoy it. It's easy to latch onto the hose. They tell you what steps to do. You don't have to think about it or know anything. And they literally mail it to the door. So for me, that's what I would do if I didn't have him. But he goes out there with the bags and the spreader. And here's the thing. Please don't be offended. I don't really care about the lawn.
Well, another thing just to finish with that is you have to be willing to spend the money on these different products, just like women in their makeup to get the end result.
Right.
And yes, the fertilizers get expensive. Yes, the pre-emergents get expensive. You're looking for the cheaper brand or the smaller bag. People, let's be real. If you've got a certain size lawn, you have to cover the whole thing. Just like if you have a lot of blemishes, lady, you have to cover them, whatever. But you have to be willing to spend what it takes to keep your nice lawn. And it's not just a one and out.
Right.
I spent $40. I can't spend anymore and expect fabulous results.
And that's why the Randy Lemon thing was good. It is good. It's a program. It's a schedule.
And it's proven too.
Yeah, it's proven. So yeah, whatever makes y'all happy. I hope that answered your question. I know that was all over the place, but I think with that one, there are a lot of answers. And let's be honest, guys, there's a lot of products out there.
Yeah.
I think it's like exercise. You need to find what works for you and stick with it.
I agree with that.
That is the thing. You know, someone might love boxing. Someone might like Pilates. Somebody like to run. It doesn't matter. It matters if you do it. It matters if you stick with it and you're consistent. And then that's where you're going to see, I think, success with your lawn or success with your exercise or with your marriage or whatever.
Or your business.
Stay in your lane and be consistent.
Or your fishing trip.
Or your fishing.
You can't just throw that bait out one time, people.
Hilly, I saw what you asked. No, we're not doing that anymore. Our son Wyatt is not doing that, but thank you for asking. So that should help you with the lawn thing. And like I said, I'm just going to wrap it up one more time. Whatever works for y'all. I like the Lawn Bright solution though. Oh, Hilly said she needs a schedule. Yeah, if you use Lawn Bright, they actually email and text you. I mean, they're very current, very up and coming. I like that. But see, he would not like that. He would prefer to get that giant bag and drag it out of the truck. And
remember Tim the Tool Man Taylor?
He likes that kind of thing, but I don't. So you got to do you. You got to do you. Okay.
Hey, let's go to your super plant.
What else can I be? Okay. Let's go plant. I'm going to show y'all this beautiful plant. The plant that Garden Guy is recommending this week is the Tangerine Beauty Crossvine. It's beautiful. And y'all are hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate you joining the garden conversation with Todd Farber, Garden Guy, Aggie horticulturist, Sugarland's #1 residential landscaper. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to hop over, if you let me, to share with you the Tangerine Beauty Crossvine. So this is a Texas, this has been some kind of night. This is a Texas superstar plant, the Tangerine Beauty Crossvine. What do you know about it, Garden Guy?
It's hardy, it's tough, it's Texas.
It's tough like Texas. It is tough, and I know it can be a little bit invasive, right?
Yeah, so wherever you plant it or whatever you plan on trellising it on, make sure there aren't any other plants within the vicinity of it, because eventually over time it will overtake it and suffocate the other plants out.
And the hummingbirds love it, right?
Hummingbirds, bumblebees, regular bees.
So I had a picture of
lots of
someone.
nectar.
I didn't include it. I had a picture, and it was gorgeous. Someone put it over their garage. They had a double garage, and they put that Tangerine Beauty Crossvine over the top, and then it came down. Now, first of all, I'm allergic to bees, so please don't do this around my garage. Thank you. But I asked him, and it looked fabulous. But I like functionality. Is that a functional thing to do?
If you're going to do something, if you're going to do something like that or any other vine, you have to make sure structurally your trellis above the garage is going to be stealth enough to hold it when it matures.
Stealth. Yeah. Would you get like a word today? Word of the day?
Man,
dictionary
all kind of
word.
stuff starts.
Are you getting texting like a word of the day?
I got to walk in thesaurus in my brain, baby. You have to have a stout trellis to hold up that kind of weight once it matures. And if you don't, and you've grown it and it's been 2 or 3 years and it falls off, good luck trying to retrellis it.
You've done that for people.
Yeah, and it doesn't work very well.
But I also would say about pests. I mean, I know they're not pests. I probably shouldn't have said that. This is live. I mean, bees are not pests, but if you're allergic to them, they are. And so I wouldn't want that near my garage.
No, because it's going to be a constant, and you're constantly ducking in and out.
That's just
going in and out of your house.
Anyway, I just don't think it's a good idea to put vines like that around. But it does look beautiful. Look, y'all do you. Anyway, Tangerine Beauty Crossvine, Texas Superstar, a Texas native.
Yeah,
too.
Southeast Texas.
Yeah, a Texas
Louisiana,
native. So, and you can grow it in the country. I think, over long fence lines and things like that. Hummingbirds, butterflies, bees. I mean, it's fabulous. It's hard to kill. Any questions about that one or comments? Let's see. She needs a schedule. Hilly. Alice. Oh, Alice has a good question. Hi, Alice. A couple of my sunshine ligustrums died. Do you know where I can buy some?
Yeah, I think I saw a fresh new batch come in at the Sweetwater Lowe's the other day.
Oh, there you go. Sweetwater Lowe's. Sunshine. So what's a sunshine ligustrum?
It's a yellowish green version.
Oh, boy, we sound like we've been drinking, but we haven't. We don't drink.
We're
buffalo.
It's been a long day, folks, but we're happy to be here with you.
We're happy. We're just I guess we're a little goofy. I'm not sure what we are. All right, so that's your answer, Alice. Thank you. Thank you, Alice. Thank you for joining us. All right, it's spring break, and this is Todd Farber, Garden Guy, Aggie Horticulturist.
Hey, you want to show them our landscape of the week?
Oh, yeah. Let's do that. Let me hop over. I want to see landscape of the week, and then we'll talk about it. Oh, that's not it. Hold on. Wow, this is amazing. Let me find it. I'm still not finding it. Here it comes. Okay, this was in Greatwood. Thank y'all for your patience. And this is the makeover of the week. Here it comes.
Say something meaningful. Say something I don't know. I wanna know you better. The way that you talk to me, the way that you make me feel.
And we're back. That was the makeover. I went over there today and took some video, and we have on our Instagram and Facebook story, you can see more video of that. And then I'm talking to Todd about the plants, and he lists them out there.
Correct.
And so what I saw is just a person coming in, because he works the stuff so closely. When you're like me, you're an outsider and you just pop in, you see things differently. So for me and other women on Facebook that saw some of it today in the story, what we all liked is what I will call the bowl.
The bowl.
The big bowl.
It is a big bowl.
It is a big bowl.
It's a Texas size bowl.
It's beautiful. And I'm going to, hold on. The bowl was where in the yard, and this was all your idea. And I think it was amazing what you did, and it's freaking beautiful. Go ahead.
So the bowl was laying on the other side of the yard in the flower bed that hadn't been planted in a while for the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. The homeowners always wanted to do something with it, but never could figure out what to do with it. So we came up with the idea to inset it in the area that you saw. Mm-hmm. I've drilled holes in the bottom of it. It's sitting up on some rocks for drainage.
Oh, that's so smart.
And we decided not to inset the whole thing where you couldn't see the bowl itself, and it just looked like more plants in the ground. So it's up in the air on purpose.
I love it. It's lovely.
And they love it, and finally got rid of it just being over there in the other part of their yard.
And it had in it bulbine in the back.
Yeah, yellow bulbine.
Red
salvia, gragia in the middle.
And
then purple verbena in the front. So we just kept it
simple.
I love
that one. I love that one. Let me see if anybody has anything to say about it. And yeah, I love it too. And I like the way that Todd didn't bury it all the way. Yeah. So halfway. So smart. And then obviously, guys, you've got to drill holes in something like that. And then sitting
elevate it.
Yeah, otherwise what happens to what's inside there? It just rots? Or
well, eventually you won't have any drainage because everything down below underneath.
No, I'm saying I know that. So what happens if you don't have drainage? It rots?
Well, yeah, it'll eventually rot within the pot. Within the pot. Hey, I'm a poet that didn't know it. Oh, now I'm really on a roll. She's going to give me the elbow.
Okay.
We're live.
So, you had a good one on Instagram earlier. So he had a great solution for someone last week where they had a palm tree that froze. I see your question, Linda, and I'll get with you in just a second. He used a boulder, a moss stone boulder, as a focal point. Y'all saw that last week, and to replace the palm tree.
The palm tree that had died because.
But here's what I'm trying to get to.
Oh.
What is the fun thing that you can do with your rock, with your moss rock?
Okay, people, if you have moss boulders in your landscape, or you need to get some, if you're beer drinkers and you know that little bit of beer that you don't finish at the end of the bottle or can, and once it's warm and usually gets tossed out, pour it on your rocks. They love to drink it. You're actually feeding your rock because the fermentation of the alcohol helps the moss and lichens grow.
It eats it
on top of the rock and keep them alive. So you have like a living, eating rock.
A pet rock.
A pet rock.
You're feeding your pet rock.
We're bringing back the pet rock.
Bringing back the pet rock garden guy here, bringing back the pet rock. All right, that's a tip that you did not know that you were going to get tonight. I want to see what Mike has to say. Mike has a sugar kettle in the front of our landscape. Oh, yeah, and you do seasonal color change out. Yeah, it's nice. It's tasteful, and I appreciate it. All right, let's go to Linda. Fruit trees, which ones do well here and won't freeze?
Well, your fruit trees are going to be hardy down to probably below 0, but our citrus trees don't do well here. So if you're into plums, peaches, nectarines, apples, pears, any of those trees are going to be freeze tolerant for the temperatures we've got in the last couple of years.
Correct.
And so any of those fruit trees are still alive, but all the citrus trees take a hit. At that low temperature.
You got to be even further down, like Florida latitude, right?
You got to be.
And then as far as the varieties, I mean, he knows the varieties because we have a ton of fruit trees in our rural property. If you want to know those, you can ask. But don't you think that most of the places do a good job of selling the right varieties, or they don't? For our area. Fruit tree varieties.
The independent garden centers do because they get to specifically order what they want that do well here for chill hours.
Yeah.
Your big box stores, they're ordering in bulk and you don't know what you're going to get.
So Houston Garden Center's okay?
No.
So Enchanted. Buchanan's. Arborgate.
Cornelius. Correct.
So Linda, go to one of those specialty type, I call them like Mike, a more boutique type garden.
And you'll have more varieties too, because like I said, the big box stores, they order in and they may get 20 of one variety. And you're like, I wanted a peach, but they're all Tex Star and you didn't want a Tex Star. You wanted Florida Queen. And it's like, oh, well, I guess I'm not getting it here.
Right.
So
I hope that answers your question, Linda. Sugar Kill. She said, will do. Super duper. No more questions right now. I have a question. Let me scoot over here. We did that cross vine. So I'm going to ask you, what should I plant under my trees where nothing will grow and there are roots? Now, the reason I ask this question is because I have heard this question from people for years. I mean, I think it could be one of the number one problems in people's yards. That one, and then the grass won't grow like on that parkway section because like in First Colony especially, they've overplanted the trees and the roots are getting huge, but that's separate. So today in Greatwood, I saw him solve this problem of what can I put under my oak tree to make it look nice so the roots don't show? What's the answer? I
like to use 4-inch liriope planted on 6 to 8-inch centers.
So liriope. Okay. And that's what you can put under your, and it's usually oak trees, seems to be always the question.
Well, that's majority of what people have planted in their front yards in our area anyway.
Right. So you plant the liriope and then you put, you mulch it too.
So the liriope is not competing directly with the root system of the oak tree, which other plants might. And it comes down to, at the end of the day, who gets the most water. And the tree is always going to win. And when you have a complementary plant like liriope, it doesn't need much water, so it's not trying to get what it can't have, if that makes sense.
True. Oh, do you ever add bluebonnets to landscaping?
If requested. They hit the nursery just for a couple-week period early in the spring.
They're not very available. Yeah.
And if we don't have anywhere to put them or somebody's not doing a wildflower area, then...
But they're beautiful and fun.
You know, a bluebonnet is considered a biennial.
Oh, yeah, we were going to talk about that. Biennial. So I was going to have him define for y'all annual, biennial, and perennial. So annual, obviously, guys, y'all have got to know. That's You have to plant it every year.
Correct. And what we define it here as seasonal. And so people's annuals, if we don't have any harsh weather, they may live a full year. And it's like, oh, well, but normally people, when they're changing out their seasonal color with annuals, they do it in the spring. If they like gardening a lot, they may do it again in the summer, and then they change out to fall. It gets expensive, but, to each his own. Perennials, on the other hand, are planted once and theoretically are hardy enough in our zone to make it back year after year. Now
you plant a lot of perennials.
We do, because I do a lot of hummingbird, butterfly, perennial gardens.
Mm-hmm.
So those will come back year after year. Now, based on the environments, dogs of the yard, you may not get every perennial to come back, but for the majority, we do.
Most part, yeah. And then biennial, I thought was interesting because Todd was saying we don't really have those here. And they are defined as they live for 2 years. Yeah, they live for 2 years. They flower in their second year because the first year they're getting like their green foliage. And that's pretty much what they are. But Todd was saying we don't really have those here.
Not really. I mean, you can't really go to the store and it's like, oh, I want to find some biennials.
Well, I read like hollyhock. We don't grow that here.
We have them available, but they're already blooming. So
right.
If you do things from seeds, you'll find out it's like, well, it takes so much time to germinate, so much time to put up, and then you may not see flowers till the next year. Mm-hmm. But our climate's so wishy-washy here that...
Hilly, do it, Hilly. Send me a picture.
It may not be a true biennial.
Yeah, so that was just the definition for y'all of annual, biennial, and perennial. Okay, I saw something fun I just shared it. It was from Age Gets to You. I think this was from Buchanan's. Yeah.
It looks like it.
It's there. Plants that attract native and non-native hummingbirds. And I did share it on Facebook. So I'm going to read this to y'all.
Cool.
Or you guys. Turk's cap.
Ooh, I love Turk's cap, but you better have a lot of room.
Oh, yeah. And you got to cut it. You get to cut that one back.
It freezes back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Camellia patens.
Yeah.
Justicia. Pentas. You know that one. Coral honeysuckle, which to me, that reminds me of that crossvine, right? No?
It's very similar in how they grow.
Mm-hmm. Coral bean. Esperanza.
Texas yellow bells.
Yeah, that's yellow. I like that one. Pride of Barbados. We featured that. Pride of Barbados. We featured that one. Red yucca. You've got that one at the farm. Salvia.
Coccinei.
Salvia.
Greggii.
I took German, not Latin. Salvia oxyphora. Standing cypress. What's that?
You'd have to look it up. It's not what you think. It's not a tree.
Flame acanthus. I don't know. Bottle brush. Y'all know that one. Mallow hibiscus. Cardinal flower. What else do we know? There's a lot. They have a lot on here. Nasturtium. Oh, Kufia. Like bat face. Kufia. Love that one. Agave and aloe. So that's fun. I shared that one. People always want to know what attracts hummingbirds, what attracts butterflies. I mean, women love it. I love it too. I love to see them. They love the one we had at the farm, the bottle brush. The hummingbirds love the bottle brush.
Yeah,
they really do. They'll fight over it. We've seen them do it.
It was.
Yeah, it's wonderful, but it does freeze, doesn't it? The bottle brush.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've had those 2 bad freezes, and it's been a struggle to get some new ones established.
Oh, look, Carol's here. Hey, Carol.
Hello.
She has so many weeds in her grass. Yeah, we were just doing the thing. So, what do we need to tell her? It's too late to do now that she has weeds. She can't do pre-emergent.
No, but she could do weed and feed.
Okay, so we were just talking about weed and feed. So we would say go to, where she lives. So where should she go?
Southwest Fertilizer. So
go to Southwest Fertilizer. Tonight, this is what we've been doing, Carol. We're all over the place with our mouths. Go to Southwest Fertilizer and either ask them which blend of either MicroLife or NitroFos, one of those brands. And then you're going to spreader. And they will tell you which one. We're not sponsored. We don't do a lot of lawn care, this and that. We were saying that earlier. So go to them, Carol, and see what they recommend. And then if you don't want to go that route, I made this long thing about something called Lawn Bright, which is a subscription service, and it's liquid, and you spray it. So if you know me, if you want to know about Lawn Bright Carol, just ask me and I'll tell you how to get it. But it's a totally different animal and it's sprayable. But if you just want to grab something soon, go over to Southwest Fertilizer and they'll point you and definitely point you in the right direction. So.
Hey, Hilly, I see that you mentioned Enchanted Gardens, but you want to hear a funny story? So I've been working in Greatwood for over 25 years, and Enchanted Forest, which is the sister company to Enchanted Gardens, is in a little town called Booth, just on the backside of Greatwood. And I needed 2 Peggy Martin roses today. I called and said they had them. So for the first time in 25 years, I visited Enchanted Forest, and I was quite impressed by their setup.
I got you, Mike. I see you.
And their quality of plants, and it looks just like Enchanted Gardens. It's just set up a little bit different. They've got bigger pecan trees going through the area, but it was really neat. Different to see something else. But anyway.
I've never been over there either.
And I asked you out on a date to go walk through the pansies or something. Tiptoe through the tulips.
Tiptoe through the tulips. All right. Well, I'll go with you just because it's you and because you asked so nice. Because you're so nice. What is, Microlife and Nitrophos. Yeah, that's what we said. We think those are the best ones as well.
Yeah.
And as far as which one, because we had a client this week, I said this earlier, you need to ask these garden centers, these boutique type garden centers, what they recommend, and let them guide you on that and trust them on that. And that will be great. And if you don't want to do a spreader and a bag and all that, then I would recommend a company called Lawn Bright, and you can just Google them. And that is a subscription service that attaches to the hose, and they email, text you what you need to do next. And I like that approach personally as a girl. So, but if you want to drag around big bags and spreaders, then you should do that.
Right.
You should do what works for you. There.
Hey, maybe you should talk with an accent and not make so many mistakes.
Maybe it will help me not to sound like a goofball tonight. Yes, of course you do, Carol. Of course you love supporting local businesses. You always supported us. And Carol Andrews, does she take pictures of people anymore?
She's into the other arts.
Oh, she does other things. Well, anyway, Carol Andrews took pictures of all of our children.
Which are still on our wall.
Of course they are. My kids are not, though. They're all about to leave me. Anyway, that's what happens when you're a mother and then you cry about it and then you get over yourself because that's just life. That's what my husband told me. He's like, well, that's just how it goes. I'm like, well, thanks for that. Well, I don't see any more questions. And it's spring break, so we're not quite as busy tonight.
Carol's a painter these days.
Oh, Carol is now painting. All right. Yeah, that's right. So the pictures that I see that you have, Carol, those are paintings? I didn't know. I thought maybe that was chalk or something. I'm not an artist, so I don't know. Anyway, love Carol and love her work. And Nikki Lowell, I guess, does what she used to do now.
Yeah.
For portraits for individuals or for families
Correct.
Or for babies. But Carol always just did these. And Nikki took the pictures of the children too.
Correct.
Working for Carol. But beautiful pictures, guys. I mean, like capturing moments of your life kind of pictures. Just unbelievable. Love you too, Carol. Your pictures will always be of the children. And don't make me start crying because this is just one of those days, dang it. Oh yeah, it's Lowell Photography. If y'all are looking at this and you have grandkids or kids, you want to look up Lowell. Nikki is great. And to say that the pictures are beautiful is
an understatement.
Yeah. I mean, it's like saying that Todd's landscapes are nice. I mean, this is something that you make an investment in to have pictures done of your children or even your pets or whatever your thing is, and you will treasure it. They capture a moment for you. I mean, anybody can take a picture, right?
Right.
This is a whole different thing. And I still believe in professional photography and hiring someone to do.
Absolutely.
It's a craft. It'd be like me landscaping. It's not a good idea. I can do it, but doesn't mean I should.
Right.
You can take a picture, but you need a professional. She said, I'm not crying. You are. Yeah, I know, right? Because these people, you should see them. They're just growing up and leaving. All right. She still gets Yard of the Month. That's great. That's wonderful. That's so great. That's so great. Well, thank y'all for joining us tonight. I think that's all I have, unless you had something else, baby.
No.
Nothing.
We can wrap it up.
Yeah. Well, we will see y'all here on Facebook next week, Tuesday at 7:30. And we're doing an Instagram live as well. If you want to see us on Instagram, we're at 6:45 on Tuesdays. Good night, everyone. And we will see you next week.
Yeah. Y'all take care.
Good night.